It was declared to be a controllable promo interview. 10 account of polite conversation, abrasive jokes, maybe a mention of Meghan's latest empowerment project. Annihilation unusual, annihilation risky. But the moment Meghan Markle absolved onto the Alive with Kelly and Mark stage, Kelly Ripa acquainted it. Article was off. The smile was too tight. The aspect was too stiff. The activity icy. And the audience, they sensed it too. What began as a brilliant morning appearance quickly turned into a storm, one that no one in the ascendancy allowance could stop. The studio lights glowed balmy adjoin the pastel set of Alive with Kelly and Mark. The audience clapped rhythmically as Meghan Markle strode in slow, controlled, chin-tilted aloof, hardly college the necessary. Kelly Ripa stepped forward with her brand enthusiasm. "Meghan, welcome. We're so animated you're here." Meghan offered a smile that froze halfway across her face. "Yes, well, I accept it was time. I assuredly fabricated an appearance. Here." Kelly blinked. It wasn't hostile, but it wasn't balmy either. "Amuse, accept a seat," Mark added, motioning to the sofa. Meghan sat bottomward with the delicate stiffness of a Dishon who accepted the furniture to abort her. Kelly and Mark exchanged a quick glance. Nothing dramatic. Aloof, the silent. "Okay, interesting start." Kelly launched into the aboriginal affable softball. "So, Meghan, you've been active in California for a while now. How's activity alleviative to you? How are the kids? How's Harry?" Meghan crossed her legs anxiously and exhaled through her nose. "Activity is fine, Kelly, but honestly, I acquisition it odd that bodies keep asking the aforementioned basal questions over and over as if I haven't answered them 1,000 times." Kelly's smile remained, but her eyes flashed. "Oh, well, we like to alpha-light, our admirers' adulation keeping up with your journey." Meghan shrugged. "Yes, and that's understandable, although sometimes I admiration if they're really interested in me, or aloof, the spectacle that follows me everywhere." Mark leaned forward to abate it. "Well, we're just happy to accept you. Your new documentary is Authoritative Waves." Meghan cut him off. "Of course it is. Annihilation I do makes waves. People tend to captivate over my activity more than their own." A ripple of laughter came from the audience, nervous, unsure. Kelly bound her hands. "Let's talk about the documentary then. You highlight some appealing claimed stories." "Yes, because Addition has to," Meghan interjected sharply. "Addition has to speak the truth. The institutions I escaped from absolutely won't." Kelly inhaled through her teeth. "We'll get to that," she said carefully. "But first, I wanted to ask, your assignment in women's advocacy has been accepted beyond the—" Meghan scoffed lightly. "Praised? Kelly, let's be honest. Aggregate I do gets picked apart. Bodies still misunderstand my intentions. They don't see the vision. You of all bodies should understand what it's like to be underestimated." Kelly blinked again. "Well, I anticipate a lot of bodies appreciate what you're doing." "Some do," Meghan said, crossing her arms, "but the media in general, you all adulation age things." Kelly aloft her eyebrows but kept her tone gentle. "We're not all the same, Meghan." Meghan aged her head. "Aren't you?" The admirers reacted, some gasps, some whispers. Mark austered his throat. "So, effective on." Meghan abandoned him. "People like to pretend their shows are supportive, but I've noticed best of them are cat and mouse for me to say the wrong thing." Kelly acquainted her patient's tug. "Well, that's not what we do here." Meghan narrowed her eyes any time so slightly. "We'll see." For the aboriginal time in her long career, Kelly acquainted an absolute chill run bottomward her spine. Meghan Markle wasn't just guarded, she was on the attack. Kelly approved again, switching capacity to lighten the mood. "So, your children, how are Archie and Lily adjusting to life away from the spotlight?" Meghan gave a cold smile. "They're fine. We accord them privacy. Article bodies should respect," admitting they usually don't. Kelly nodded. "Absolutely, admitting many parents would annihilate for your akin of freedom and flexibility." "Freedom?" Meghan repeated sharply. "You beggarly the abandon I had to action for? The abandon no one wanted me to have?" Kelly swallowed. Well, you've absolutely created a different aisle for your family. Yes, Meghan replied, and some bodies can't stand that I didn't comedy the obedient little duchess. The allowance tensed. Kelly felt the air thicken. Mark shifted uncomfortably. She approved a diplomatic smile. No one wants you to be anything you're not. Oh, please, Kelly, Meghan snapped lightly. Spare me. Bodies want me to be quiet, modest, grateful, but I'm none of those things. Kelly's smile faltered, and for the aboriginal time in the interview, the admirers didn't laugh, didn't clap. They aloof watched, waiting. Kelly took an apathetic breath. Well, this is going to be an actual, honest conversation. I can see that already. Meghan angled an eyebrow. Bluntness tends to accomplish people uncomfortable. Kelly captivated her gaze, refusing to flinch. Alone aback honesty comes captivated in attitude. A tiny spark lit in Meghan's eyes. The storm was coming, and anybody in the flat felt it. The flat atmosphere had shifted from a blaze to brittle. Alike through the cheerful, delicate set and bendable lighting, something sharper, colder hovered in the air. Meghan sat with her buttons slightly raised, her aspect screaming superiority. Kelly Ripa, though experienced, abundant to handle diva guests, had rarely encountered a guest so advisedly combative. Kelly kept her able tone, adjusting her note cards. Meghan, let's allocution a little bit about your new nonprofit initiative. Meghan cut in immediately. Ah, yes, the one anybody keeps aggravating to misinterpret. Kelly froze for bisected a second afore smiling. Well, we wouldn't dream of misinterpreting anything. We're just aflame to apprehend what inspired. What inspired me, Meghan said firmly, was the complete abortion of the institutions that were declared to abutment me. Mark shifted again, and a few afraid laughs rolled through the audience. Kelly kept her composure. Right, but absolutely, you also had absolute experiences. Kelly, Meghan said, aptitude advanced with an arrogant smile. You don't get to rewrite my adventures aloof to fit a feel-good morning appearance narrative. Kelly's eyebrows aerialed almost involuntarily. Oh, I'm not afterlight anything. I'm just giving you amplitude to allotment added facets of your story. Meghan behunt her arms. There's no need. The accuracy is very simple, and bodies alone assume to struggle with it aback they don't like what it says. Kelly acquainted affliction atom behind her smile. Okay then, she said sweetly, let's get into something straightforward. Your move to California has been declared as a aloft lifestyle shift. How has it been? Adjusting to life outside the monarchy? Meghan's lips curled. Kelly, aggregate is a major lifestyle about-face to bodies who can't imagine annihilation al fresco their comfort zone. Kelly blinked. Are you suggesting I can't brainstorm that? Meghan shrugged. You said it, not me. The audience reacted. Bendable gasps, surprised laughter. Kelly acquainted her jaw close, but maintained her ablaze expression. Mark tried again, dispatch in like a referee. Meghan, abounding admirers see your move as empowering. Empowering? Meghan repeated with a laugh. Bodies like to bandy that word around. Empowerment requires strength, independence, vision, qualities best bodies don't have. Kelly inhaled deeply. Well, that's one interpretation. It's the correct interpretation, Meghan adopted sharply. Kelly attempt Mark attending that clearly said, did she absolutely aloof say that? He responded with the abandoned expression of a man ashore in the average of a hurricane. Still, Kelly apprenticed. Let's allocution about Harry. The accessible has always been absorbed with him. How is he adjusting to American life? Meghan smirked. Kelly, Harry is thriving. He loves actuality abroad from the cameras, away from that airless traditional nonsense. Kelly nodded slowly. But some people feel he struggles actuality far from his brother. From his, Meghan's voice sliced through the sentence. Bodies feel, or the tabloids feel, because I'm not interested in abridged psychology. Kelly held her ground. These apropos come from abounding admirers who affliction about the royal family. Care? Meghan scoffed. Let's be honest, they don't care. They want drama. They augment off it. Kelly's patience slipped a millimeter. Well, Ball does tend to chase you, Meghan, a babble bouncing through the crowd. Meghan's eyes narrowed. I don't attract drama, she said coldly. People manufacture it about me. There's a difference. Kelly gave a apathetic nod, choosing her words carefully. Sometimes the way we acknowledge to situations can influence how bodies perceive us. Do you think that's possible? Meghan aged her head, her announcement according parts confusion and arrogance. Kelly, perception is for bodies who don't have the intelligence to accept the truth. Kelly's jaw clenched visibly this time. Alike Mark leaned back, animating for what he knew was coming. Kelly's smile returned, but it was icy. Well, she said lightly, our admirer seems intelligent enough. Meghan shrugged. I suppose intelligence varies. The room froze. Alike, the cameras seemed to hesitate. Kelly, accustomed to exhausted of silence, aloof, connected, abundant for the tension to thicken afore continuing. All right, she said, articulation calm but firm. Let's about face to your assignment in Hollywood. Bodies were aflame aback they heard you, ability acknowledgement to acting. Meghan rolled her eyes. Oh, please. Acting was something I did aback I was younger. I've outgrown it. I accept added, elusive work now. But abundant admirers admired your performances. Fans? Meghan disconnected again. Let's not pretend I owe my career to fan approval. Kelly's accent sharpened. Respectfully, Meghan, every aerialist owes article to the bodies who abutment their work. Meghan smirked. You would say that. Kelly felt the breeze central her, not yet breaking, but angled dangerously. She leaned forward, folding her easily, deliberately. Meghan, she said, with an affable but unmistakably close voice. We arrive you here to allocution about your projects, your life, and yes, your perspective. But you seem absorbed on absolution every question. Is there article you do want to allocution about? Meghan blinked, caught off bouncer aloof briefly afore her expression anchored again. I appetite to talk about how backbreaking it is, she said stiffly. How bodies aberration my words, alter my tone, acrylic me as some affectionate a villain. Kelly gave a slow exhale. Well, you absolutely accept an opportunity now to set the record. Straight. Meghan's acknowledgement was quick and cutting. I would if bodies actually listened instead of judging. Kelly's face accustomed for the aboriginal time. Oh, Kelly said cautiously with a razor-thin smile. We're listening. The audience clapped agilely supportively, but the energy was shifting. The atom had hit the fuse. The access was coming, and Meghan didn't see it. But Kelly, she felt the pop, the tension, the able forming. Meghan Markle had no idea. She was seconds from blame Kelly Ripa over the edge. The restriction in the flat had thickened to the point area alike. The camera aggregation exchanged afraid glances. Kelly Ripa's bright, able morning show activity was still there, but just barely. Meghan, legs crossed, chin lifted, wore the announcement of someone who believed the absolute allowance existed to admire her. Kelly took a apathetic breath, then leaned in with an assertive smile that didn't absolutely ability her eyes. Let's talk about article a bit broader, she said calmly. You've been at the centermost of public discussions about dispatch back from the aristocratic family. Do you anytime feel that you ability accord to some of the controversies surrounding you? Meghan's lips coiled into a smirk. Bodies create controversy because they're intimidated by women like me, she replied. Strong, articulate, independent. That combination makes bodies uncomfortable. Kelly nodded slowly. Or, she said gently, some ability altercate that the way you acquaint comes beyond as dismissive. Meghan's smile vanished. Dismissive? She refreshed sharply. Kelly, telling the accuracy isn't dismissive. If people can't handle honesty, that's not my problem. The admirers shifted. Some awkward laughter, some aloft eyebrows. Kelly kept her accent soft, but a firmness crept in. Being honest, she said, and doesn't crave actuality, unkind. The entire studio went silent. Mark glanced nervously amid them, aback wishing he were anywhere else. Meghan agee her head. Offended? Unkind? I haven't been unkind to anyone here. I artlessly refused to baptize myself bottomward for daytime television. That landed like a slap. A few admirers' associates gasped. One woman visibly mouthed, "Wow." Kelly's composure wavered alone for a second, but long abundant for the cameras to bolt it. "Meghan," she said, accurate titerer now, "this appearance is watched by millions of bodies from all backgrounds. Suggesting that this belvedere or the people watching it are below you is incredibly disrespectful." Meghan rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. I'm not actuality to fit into the Kelly and Mark cheerful bubble. I accompany depth, perspective, substance. I can't apologize if that's unfamiliar area for some." Kelly's expression hardened. "Aesthetic, cheerful bubble, alien territory," she repeated. "Anniversary chat bluff than the last. So now you're calumniating the show and the audience?" Meghan didn't even blink. "I'm not calumniating anyone. I'm simply pointing out the obvious. Someone has to drag the conversation." This time, the admirers reacted loudly. Murmurs, oofs, sounds, a brace of boos, one loud, "Oh no, she didn't." Kelly's smile abolished completely. Mark sat up straight, accessible to jump in, but Kelly listed one duke slightly, signaling she had it below control. She leaned forward, elbows on her knees, eyes locked on Meghan. "Here's the thing, Meghan," she said, her accent icy but still controlled. "You appear actuality saying you appetite to set the almanac straight, but every distinct acknowledgement you've accustomed today has been condescending. You don't get to come on appearance and belittle anybody in the allowance aloof because they ask questions." Meghan flung her arms dramatically. "Maybe the questions should be better." Kelly's jaw clenched visibly. "Oh, assurance me," she said. "The questions are aloof fine. What's questionable is your attitude." The room erupted again. Gasps, abashed laughter, even a broadcast applause. Meghan sat upright, eyes blazing. "I'm not actuality to tolerate disrespect, Kelly." Kelly leaned in closer, articulation now like glass. "Then stop disrespecting anybody else." The astriction exploded into the affectionate of drama morning television dreams of, except this time it wasn't scripted, and everyone sensed it. The abutting words from either woman would advance the interview past the point of no return. You could feel it the moment the articulation returned from the bartering break. Not a single person in the studio, not the crew, not Mark, not the audience, believed the interview would calm down. And Meghan made a biting it didn't. As the cameras rolled again, Meghan adopted her blazer with a resting air of annoyance, as if the studio, the show, and anybody in it were inconveniences she had been forced to tolerate. Kelly's smile returned, but it was the affectionate of smile bodies wear right afore they break. "Welcome back," she said, her articulation too abiding to be natural. "We're Actuality with Meghan Markle, continuing our active conversation." Meghan smirked. "Lively, I'd say enlightening." Kelly blinked. "Boring," then continued. "Meghan, afore the break, you mentioned activity blurred by the public, but you've additionally fabricated repeated comments today that assume to place yourself aloft the public. Don't you see the contradiction?" Meghan let out a short, acerb laugh. "Kelly, people misunderstand me because I accomplish on a different level. Not anybody can keep up with my perspective. That's not my fault." A loud beachcomber of gasps swept across the audience. Mark's eyes widened. "Oh boy," he aside into his mic, accidentally loud abundant for anybody to hear. Kelly angry hardly against him, then aback to Meghan with an expression that had gone alarmingly calm. "Meghan," she said, "you're talking to millions of people who watch this appearance every day. Moms, teachers, nurses, students, hardworking bodies who tune in acquisitive to start their morning with positivity and honesty, not superiority." Meghan shrugged. "If bodies are threatened by confidence, that's a claimed issue, not mine." Kelly cautiously placed her note cards on the table. "Oh, honey," she said, her articulation low and sharp. "This isn't confidence. This is arrogance. The admirers erupted. Gasps, applause, whispers. Edition alike shouted, "Tell her, Kelly." Meghan's face flushed. "I don't accept to sit actuality and be insulted," she snapped. "This appearance is clearly beneath me." Silence. Absolute silence. Mark turned toward Kelly, silently mouthing, "Oh my God." Kelly let out a calm exhale, the last of her patience evaporating. "You know what, Meghan?" she said, leaning forward. "Enough." Meghan blinked, startled. Kelly continued, articulation firm and unshakable. "You came actuality to talk about your projects, but instead you've talked bottomward to me, my co-host, this show, and our admirers at every turn. We welcome guests with respect, but we expect that aforementioned account in return." Meghan scoffed loudly. "Oh, please, you're overreacting." Kelly befuddled her head slowly. "No," she said sharply, "I'm setting a boundary." Then, with the composure and ascendancy of a Ascendant who had assuredly accomplished her limit, Kelly Ripa delivered the band that would be replaced beyond amusing media for weeks. "If you anticipate this appearance is below you, then so is this seat. Meghan, we're done here. Amuse, leave the stage." The audience exploded. Gasps, murmurs, even applause. Meghan's aperture fell open. "You're blame me off a live television?" she shouted. Kelly didn't alike blink. "Yes," she said simply, "because this is live with Kelly and Mark, not Attending How Superior I Am, starring Meghan Markle." Mark active his face in his hands. The audience went wild. Meghan stood abruptly, her armchair abrading a back with a harsh screech. "This is outrageous," she hissed. "You'll affliction this. I'm leaving." Kelly gestured against the exit. "Perfect," she replied. "Will survive." Meghan stormed off the set, the cameras communicable the moment she yanked off her mic and abolished backstage. Kelly, angry back to the camera, composed already more, admitting her eyes still sparkled with extra fire. "Well," she said, adjusting her dress, "that was something. We'll be appropriate back." Fade out. Flat chaos. Audience electricity. One of the messiest morning show moments in history. And that was Meghan Markle's atomic showdown on Live with Kelly and Mark. A moment the studio won't balloon anytime soon. If this agrarian account breakdown kept you hooked, accomplish abiding to hit that like button, subscribe, and about face on notifications so you never absence another dramatic celebrity meltdown. Assurance me, the abutting one is already on its